let's talk about the docuseries. Walk us through that. Like, what's
I
the
forgot
process?
we haven't been on here since then.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we see y'all all the time, so it's weird. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, why would I talk about that? But yeah, we haven't been. You wanna?
Yeah. I mean, well, it definitely first starts off as me talking about the logo because I am the logo, but I wanted to turn pro in golf, and I couldn't find any sponsors, so it was like, why not start a business and sponsor myself, take the entrepreneur route. I was tired of being told no, and I wanted to turn pro. So one thing led to another. Eastside Golf was born. Of course, I'm from East Atlanta, grew up in East Atlanta playing golf, but that transition to how the clothes look, and how we carry ourselves, but then now it's just another wave. But we showed all of that during the docuseries. So then we showed our first pair of fours that you guys saw, and it was only a few hundred pairs actually made. So from there, and we showed the next set of 5 shoes called the Red Clay Collection. I designed that Red Clay Collection for me being from the South. You know what I'm saying? I used to take the bus to the actual golf course, and by the time I get to the MARTA bus stop, it's red clay mud all over my shoes. But it showed grit, determination, hard work, that I was here to get it out the mud. But that's where those shoes and that collaboration, well, the name of that collaboration came from. But I mean, the entire docuseries shows our trail from literally the first coming out with the logo all the way through going up to Nike headquarters and showing that meeting and showing the first time we saw the shoes. I mean, it's an incredible moment. It looked like I was about to cry, honestly. I mean, I looked at it the other day. I was like, wow. Like, I mean, I'm just so grateful. I mean, we look so grateful, and just to have the opportunity to show that so many more people can show how far their dreams and how far their actually company can go just through really pushing that and working hard.
Yeah, and I would add to that, it's golf too, right? So it's different, right? Like, we're doing this. You got 2 young black men doing this in golf, right? And to have that documented was special. I will say it's kind of funny now we look back on it. Like, it was one of them things where we really, truth be told, when it first kind of came to us, we really didn't even want to do it. And I say that because it was just more like we were just so locked in on the work. Like, it was we looked at it almost like a distracting. Like, come in here, sit down in front of these cameras. You're like, man, there's so much work to do. We don't have time to do this. But it was one of those things that we worked through it, and we're able to, kind of see, okay, when it all came together, you're like, oh, because the way a documentary is shot, anybody knows, it's very choppy. It's not like how you see on TV. It's like film for a day, then you might not film for 3 months, and then come back, and we got to stage this moment or that moment. And we had a lot of footage too that we had been, taping, which I will say he can attest to this. He's on me all the time, and that's why we have 2 photographers with us right now. Film everything, film everything. It is difficult because you still kind of want to have a level of privacy, and you want to be able to just focus on the business, because it takes a while for people to get comfortable in front of cameras. Like, we're comfortable in front of cameras because we're in front of it all the time, but you could tell when somebody's like acting or doing something different. It's like, bro, don't worry about that. So that was more why we didn't like the cameras, because it was like, you bring the camera into a work session, it's going to be very unproductive because most people that work with us aren't used to cameras all around them. But nah, the docuseries is amazing. The 6 episodes. It definitely gives you an insight on, the brand, who we are, and where we're going. So it's special. It's called Grails. Go check it out.
Yeah, you spoke about the $50,000 going to Morehouse, and we were talking about this prior. There was this post that Howard University, that school, right?
Yeah.
They have one of the top ranked HBCU golf programs, but it talked because of the sponsorship that Steph Curry brought, right? Like in sponsoring the golf team. Even though it's a night school, he took over the golf program. We saw this happen with Dion in Jackson State when we talked about these programs and these HBCUs need endowment. They need, the alumni to come back and boosters to give back to their schools. Talk about the importance of it, obviously what you're doing with Morehouse, but what we can see happen is Jackson State can thrive, and we can see Howard becoming the #1 golf program. Talk about the importance of giving back to these schools.
Yeah, I mean, it's really important. That's where me and Earl met at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to see more Elijah Williams neurals, this is where you give back to.
Yeah.
You know, golfers are a little bit different of athletes. A lot of them, I think they have the highest GPA on average out of all sports.
They took y'all grades into account?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, Morehouse Golf team does have the highest GPA.
By the way.
Highest GPA in their conference. Hopefully in all HBCUs. But at the end of the day, it's about, we know what golf can do for so many people, but just imagine what it can do for some college students. You know, like now they can be around entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, people that run businesses. So whatever their major is, now they have an actual tool that can get them around the people that can actually get them a job after college. If they don't want to turn pro in golf, that's cool. You know, but now use the game of golf to further yourself. You know, use the game of golf or get back into the actual game and change it. You know, from, you know, if you're a marketing major, you know, now try to get a job with the PGA or, you know, PGA Tour. Hopefully we can work with them and now show them a different way of showing golf. Mm-hmm. But it's coming from a different perspective. People that have never gotten a chance to get into that section of sport, you know, people that have never really, it's just never been shown in a light that really gets us captivated at the end of the day.
I'm a little bit unaware, but how much is needed for a golf program? I would obviously the clubs, but are they playing to get into the tournaments? Travel, like what would be
travel,
needed?
scholarship? I mean, it's a couple $100,000 a year on the annual budget. You know, between scholarships, you got hotels, you got food. You got uniforms that could be given within the conference, but again, all those little things. You got golf balls. Like there's a lot of these little things, and then typically you may have to pay for the golf course as well. If it's not donated, there could be a fee for you to get out there, and then you got a head coach that needs to get paid, and then some people have head coach, assistant coaches, trainers, all that sort of thing. You know, so it's not a thing where it's a multi-million-dollar annual budget, but for an HBCU, a couple $100,000 can go a long way, and they may see they want to put that revenue somewhere else. But I also want to go back to what you were saying, because I think for me, the importance of giving back to HBCUs and golf, and us particularly, like I grew up in Wilmington, Delaware, and it really wasn't a lot of, you know, it's like a majority white town and state, and so you talk about golf, that's how golf is. And so for me going down to Morehouse in Atlanta and meeting him and the rest of our team members, I'm like, yo, I've never been, it's like playing golf with y'all. I was like, whoa, like this is amazing. And so oftentimes for us to create an opportunity for that young black kid out there or that young minority kid out there to come to another place that he can continue to flourish in golf and not feel like he's a second class because they don't have this, they don't have that. We're going to want to provide all of the quality resources you need, and you can still be in an environment with people that look like you and feel comfortable with the things you want to talk about. You know, that goes a long way, because typically in your golf journey, you're going to face it around white folks. It's just the nature of the demographic of so you have to be comfortable in that, but to have that ability to be around people that look like you, because he'll tell you that was the first thing that blew my mind. Mm-hmm. Like going to Atlanta and seeing all them brothers play golf, I'm like, I never saw that. And that's so to create an environment like that, I think HBCU golf is very, very important for their journey, because it allows you to just, again, identify who you are and gives you that small little 4-year window to be like, man, I'm playing with people that look like me.